Whenever you guys are ready.
Hi everyone, we are Paw-Fect. I'm Addie, this is Kayla, this is Abby, this is Sophia, and this is Michelle. So this is Teddy. He was abandoned a couple months ago, but luckily found by someone to care for him. But sadly, the owner had to make a post on Facebook because Teddy isn't able to stay, and he needs to be adopted. He has some specific quirks and needs, so the owner needs to make sure he matches with someone perfectly. So if the owner had access to Paw-Fect, it would make things a lot easier. The owner is also very persistent on not putting Teddy in the shelter, since 3.1 million dogs a year go into shelters, and only about 2 million get adopted. So out of that 1.1 million, 40% of the dogs are euthanized, and this is what Paw-Fect is trying to minimize.
In order to solve this problem, we created Paw-Fect, which is a website that matches you with the perfect dog through a detailed questionnaire and advertises adoption through dog shelters. Some of our unique value propositions are match, click, meet. For match, we send you a notification email letting you know when the dog that you're looking for becomes available if it wasn't currently. We also provide a very detailed description of each of the dog's behavioral and medical needs. Then we also have an option where you can filter out different categories of the different kind of preferences you have, like breed and fur color. Then you have the option to click yes or no for each of those matches. And then we also provide communication from the dog shelters to the adopters so you can meet your perfect match. So once you click on our website, it'll take you to our homepage, which is also our landing page. Then you click Match Me. It'll take you to our survey where you click Start. And then it'll ask you basic information like what's your name, email address, and phone number. And the email address, we made it required because we can see if you're truly interested in our process. And then we'll ask you other things like lifestyle preferences, how far you would travel, and zip code, dog preferences, care and commitment. And we found all this, we use most of these questions from other dog adoption websites, and we embedded it into our own so we know it's reliable. Next, after you fill out the survey, it'll take you to all your matches. You can click on their profile, and then it'll show you a detailed description of the behavioral and the medical, and then you can click yes or no if you'd like to match them. But either way, you can go back and see the other matches.
Our target market is individuals and families looking to add a fur companion to their family, and shelters looking to adopt out more of the dogs.
Our total addressable market is the total pet care market size, which is approximately $179.5 billion. Our serviceable addressable market is 2.8 million, and we found this number by taking the total number of dogs in shelters in Illinois and multiplying that by our average unit price. We found our average unit price by taking our 8% commission rate of the average price of a dog in a shelter in Illinois, which is $275. For our first year market share, we are planning to reach 1,671 customers, which is 40% of all the households in Barrington. And according to Second City Rescue, approximately 31% of dogs in shelters are adopted each year. So we estimated we could approximately have a 20% conversion rate, and that would give us 334 customers for the first year. And when you multiply that by our unit price, that gives us approximately $7,000 in revenue, which is a market share percentage of 0.27%.
So our unit price is $22, but we'd also have to deal with some transaction fees, which would be about 66 cents. And that brings us to $21.34, and that makes our gross profit margin about 97%. And multiplying that by our number of units sold, which would be 334, we get a gross profit of $6,856 after a year.
Here's the competition versus us. We looked to see, based on if they had matching technology where we can match to a perfect dog, communication, like easy communication between the shelter and the adopter, a survey where they can survey to find which dogs match them, and advertisement if they have advertisements currently on their website. As you can see, Paw-Fect will have all of this, and some of our competition is lacking some of these features.
For marketing, we have 3 free marketing tactics and 1 paid marketing tactic. We are going to send out newsletters to people who sign up for Paw-Fect. We're going to send out emails to dog shelters. And to reach a larger audience, we're going to create social media posts on things like even like next door neighbor or Facebook and join like Facebook groups. Or, for example, there's a Facebook group called Barrington Dog Lovers that we thought would be a good place to market our website. And our paid marketing tactic is flyers, and we're going to put up flyers around Barrington and in dog shelters to gain more customers.
Is this one of the flyers that we'll be using? Is there also other examples of flyers we'll be using?
For our marketing costs, we decided to use flyers, which would be $17.99 per month, and we would also pay for shelters to attend events like Clear the Shelter, and we found that it would cost around $50 according to Back to the Forest Animal Shelter.
What MVP will we be testing out? A customer segment, price point, and features?
To test out our customer segment, we're going to send out a link to our landing page, which is our website. We're going to do this through various marketing techniques. For example, we're going to go and join different Facebook groups, like I described earlier, and put up flyers around Barrington. Once people click on our landing page and they fill out our survey, we are going to email them their results. We're going to use like a concierge approach to manually find dogs for them and email their results. And once they choose a dog, we're going to set them up with the dog to adopt it from the shelter. And so our key metrics for this is how many people fill out our survey, enter their email, and also actually adopt a dog. To test price point, we're going to have a second landing page, which is a website that simply allows shelters to sign up and enter their email if they're interested in becoming a part of Paw-Fect. We also are going to test our features by analyzing different data from like what questions on our survey were completed the most and like how many people actually completed the survey when they viewed our landing page to update our landing page and survey.
And then our timeline implementation is from February 9th to February 13th. We'll test and refine. This consists of making sure the landing page and the survey have full usability and finishing that all up. From February 14th to February 25th, we'll do soft launch, which is this where we'll like finalize our flyers and start marketing for Paw-Fect. From February 26th to March 5th, which will be outreach to shelters. This will be putting out a second page on our landing page specifically for shelters. This will be also sending out our landing page link to shelters and hanging up posters around town and at shelters. And from March 6th to March 15th, this will be updates where we will make sure everything is working well and gather our success from marketing and outreach to shelters.
So we will be asking for $180. This comes from $18 a month for about 3 months, so that would be $54. And then we'd also be paying for shelters to go to events to advertise themselves and us, and that would be about $50 according to the Back to the Forest Animal Rescue here in Barrington. And we are also, for our landing page, we're using this website called Durable, and for the premium subscription, it would be about $25 a month for 3 months, and that'd be $75. So thank you for listening, and use our website to find your Paw-Fect match.
Do you have a website now that's,
Yeah, I did.
and what's the name of it?
It's called Paw-Fect My Durable.
One word?
Isn't it Paw-Fect?
Yeah.
Like paw-fect/.
It's spelled like it's spelled on the screen.
Okay.
This might be the best looking presentation I've ever seen in high school. It's beautiful. You guys, it's like so good. Great logo, great color scheme. You guys, I mean, kudos on that. It made it very clear. You showed real screenshots of the survey you plan to do. So it painted a real picture of your business, right? So as an investor, this is what we want to see. Run through who's paying you and for what. Are you expecting money from people looking for dogs, from shelters, both? I kind of miss.
So when people adopt the dogs, you know, they come with the dogs come with an adoption fee. So we would be getting an 8% commission from every dog that's adopted through our website.
One thing I would incorporate in your presentation, next ones and fish night and all that, is how timely this is in Illinois with the recent law changes. You can't buy dogs at the store anymore, right? So everybody's resorting to adopting because you can't purchase a new dog, right? So this is very timely business, and I think it's a great idea.
I agree. Beautiful presentation. I would even, you can have a real emotional connection here, and I don't call the dogs units. Like, not number of units sold or whatever. Like, call them dogs or friends
Puppies.
or adoptees or things like that. Like, you can really lean into that because this will be an emotional thing. I really like the idea of, I know you're kind of thinking about it as bootstrapping, as a more concierge service before you go. Like, this as a concierge service for, finding the perfect match for you. I think that people that are looking to adopt would be fairly price insensitive to that in terms of the adoption fee and all that kind of stuff, and marketing it as a concierge service to find the perfect match for your family or whatever, I think you'll be able to even push that revenue even a little bit more. So I would just look into that, even a fixed fee of something like we will find play around with that. So, but very nice.
From COVID, one of the top additional brands that have entered the market are pet related. So all these Amazon stores are popping up because they sell like these 4 or 5 things around pets, and they soared because for a period of time, I know that the rescue in Huntley had no dogs because everyone went and adopted dogs. So now guess what? You have a dog, but you don't have a dog for a year. You have a dog for 10 to 15 years. So you've got you've got something that you can connect with. Also, have you identified the criteria for which you're going to measure the personality of a dog?
Yeah. We're gonna base it based on like the information that the shelter also like provides us. Like a lot of them have information on like whether dogs are like good with kids or like different things like that. And so we're gonna like use like the shelter's information to help like match them with what the person says they want in their survey.
Mm-hmm. So is there anything that would separate the shelter's description of the dog versus your brand and the value that you bring to them?
Our website will take multiple shelters and put all of their dogs into one. Well, you'd have to go on multiple different websites and put them. So it's very time.
One-stop shop.
Yeah. I agree with the price sensitivity thing. I don't think there's a price sensitivity thing. I mean, my dog, in my family, it goes my wife, my kids, my dog, and somewhere along the line it comes me. The dog's super important, and they would do that. People would pay money to make sure they get the right dog. And so I don't know how sensitive you need to be on price at all.
With Carl's comment, I think I would suggest making an effort to, when you're communicating with the shelters, to ask that question. Does this dog have any issues? Because some of these pups in these shelters have kind of tragic backgrounds, and the type of family or person that they need to live with does need to be sensitive. So I think you maybe need to be sensitive to that to make sure you're not making or involved in a potential mismatch due to a shelter maybe not disclosing something. In the beginning of the presentation, and I may have misheard this, were you talking also to potentially opening your service up to people who have a dog, but it's not a good fit, and allow individuals to use your service to find a new family for a dog?
So any shelter, as we showed before, where the shelter or whoever's kind of looking to give up a dog, they can fill out this survey. We have to approve them, make sure they actually have the dog. The dog is up to date with their health stuff, but anyone can join and try to get their dog adopted if they have one.
Meaning not just shelters, individuals as well?
Yeah.
So I'd be very sensitive to that, because a family that maybe the dog is not a good fit is going to be moving to get that dog somewhere and may not be as sensitive as a shelter, maybe either with temperament or health or different issues with the dog. And I only speak this because I've got some coworkers and some friends who have run into unfortunate problems because they were misled when they were trying to help a family out and get an animal, and it just led to some challenges for that.
Yeah, that would help establish their brand if they had said, listen, this is the criteria that we personally have witnessed in this animal, and that's why this behavior description, Paw-Fect will stand behind this. Now, you have to put some disclaimer language in there because things can happen, right? And that's going to be really important. You should talk to some counsel on that. But I think the matchmaking, for lack of a better term, that you're creating here is super valuable, particularly since you can make out of more than just going to, there's a rescue in Huntley, there's a rescue in like the Buffalo Grove area. I don't know where they all are, but you can bring a much larger pool of animals that are looking for homes. And to your point, sell it hard. You sell the adoption. They're not units, they're adoptees. And because Nellie's got a personality. I mean, you can see it right there in that picture, and you got to capitalize on that because your objective is to get good homes to good dogs to good people.
And maybe spend some time, instead of going around and putting up flyers, go to the shelter and take some reels with some puppies or some dogs. And get some, everyone loves to watch it.
Some ideas are great a year or 2, 3 down the road. Write them down, revisit them when the time's right. It's just like taking people's dogs who are trying to get them adopted. Just table that. Focus on placing shelter dogs in homes of families who are looking. Everything else is a distraction. You can be super hyper-focused on that one objective.
I love the idea because when we got our dog, we really didn't know a lot. We asked people, friends, what do you think? And they gave us an idea, we lucked out. But how does your site link in with the other shelters to say what's available? Because if you say, hey, this is your perfect match, how do I know where I should go to get that dog? And then number 2, you're going to rely on the shelter's opinions on what dog is a good match. Is there some sort of nationally recognized kind of description of this dog is like this that you can use instead of relying on maybe one shelter that might not be as familiar with that type of dog and someone else?
Well, for the communication, we would, so after they click yes or no about if they want that match, then we would show them where that dog is located.
So you need to participate, or the shelters need to participate with you, and is it real time, or is it manual that you need to put in the types of dogs and know what dog is gone, what comes in?
As of right now, I believe it would be manual.
Okay. Neat idea.
So
What was the ask again?
180. 180. Can you go to that slide where you broke down the 180? I'm not sure that you did on one slide. There we go. So it was $25 a month for 3 months for a site. And can you break the rest of it down?
So it was $18 also for 3 months for the flyers. And then we're also gonna kind of just like, as like a good thing to do for the shelters, since a big part of our company is to like advertise for the shelters, is that a lot of talking to the shelters, they said that they go to events like farmers markets and like dog events, but you have to pay to get in. So we would pay for them to get in, at least for one shelter to join our website. And that'd be about $50.
And so how many of those? So 75, 125, 18 times 3. So you only get to really do that one time. So I don't think you're going to get a lot of value out of seeing this, paying for them to go to this event one time. I think you got to do it more than that, because you got to. That's just one thing. That's like lightning could strike, and it could work or it might not. The website for 3 months, that makes a lot of sense. The $18 over times 3, right? Their number's low. I just think their number's low. I think their number needs to be higher. I think, if you were to take everything that they said and just say, listen, take 3 shelters to an event, that takes that to 280. I think you have a little better sample. Flyers.
Round up to 3.
Yeah, round up to 3. The flyers, it's all in your marketing, man. You got a great deck. Whoever did your deck, do that, because you're tugging on heartstrings. You're trying to make get a dog a home and try to get people to be interested in that. So I think round up to 3 is a good idea.
If you spend the money you see fit, but I think you're an aggregator. So I don't know if going physically taking dogs to a farmer's market is necessarily a good use of your time. I think we should really focus on aggregating and making those connections and getting the information out. That's my
And make sure everybody knows exactly what Paw-Fect is doing for them. You're not just taking a picture of this dog and showing them. These are the criteria for which we are adding value to your life. This is why you need us in the equation. All of a sudden, you're very popular.
You're like Tinder for dogs. Do something clever.
But they did have a swipe at the checkout. Swipe right. Swipe left, swipe right.
All right.
You originally started swiping.